Welcome to Own or Disown, where tech decisions are made easy.
Hi, Stephen from Own or Disown. Well, happy Black Friday to you. And this must be the 7th Black Friday that I've covered gaming laptops. And I must say, I think it's probably one of the best ones. I've seen some of the biggest savings. So I'm going to start off by going through some of the RTX 4060 machines I've spotted, 4070, and then 4080. The 4090 ones are still overpriced. If you can find one for the lowest price, I've seen around about $2,700. They're still pretty high there. But, 4080s, they're getting there just above 2,000 mark. So let's jump straight into it. So the first one here is the Acer Predator Helios Neo 16. It's got 165 hertz panel, 2560 by 1600, and this has a 4060 in it now. It's going for $1,050. It's saving $530 on Best Buy. Most of these savings are actually on Best Buy. You can get a 4050 model with a 13500 HX CPU for $800. So that's quite a good deal. That's $400 off there. So the fans on this will be the same as on the Helios 18 that I reviewed recently. It's the 5th generation Aeroblade fans there. The steel blades, so they are pretty good. Do move a lot of air, but they are very, very loud. In turbo mode, up above 60 decibels. At idle it's fine, but certainly when you put it under load, it is loud. So bear that in mind. Now you do have 4-zone RGB keyboard here, which is nice, and the 4060 model, you do have the i7-13700HX, which is 16 cores, 24 threads, and you do have a 1TB SSD and 16 gigabytes of RAM. So that's pretty good. Now, similarly, the two sticks of Samsung clocked at 4,800 megahertz. Now, the time spy score was around about 10,600 in turbo. So that's just like a 3070. Now, if you do an overclock in the GPU, it'll give you around about 11,400 points, which puts it, just nearly like a 4070. So that's not bad at all. And that get, 4070 is around about 11,900 GPU score. And the CPU score is around about 15,926. So Newegg does have a refurbished model of the Neo 16. That saves you a few bucks, not much, $50. It's about $1,000. And I think for refurbished, you only get like a 90-day warranty. So, and with Newegg, I've bought refurbished before. If something goes wrong with it, you can't get your money back. I couldn't. I had to swap it for another one, which is a bit of a shame. But that was the status on that. You do get a 91-hour battery on it, and so battery life it's not very good. It's expect around about 3 hours, I would say. So one thing to note. The 4060 on the Helios Neo 16 is 140 watts. So you always got to pay special attention to that. Look at reviews because not all of them are going to be the same. Most of them will just say 4060 and you've got to know what the TDP is of it. So next up we have the Gigabyte G5. This is a 15.6 inch, 144 Hz Full HD laptop with the 12650H CPU. So that's 10 cores, 16 threads. Again, it has a 4060, but bear in mind this is only a 75 watt 4060. But you do save $300 here over at Best Buy, bringing it around about $800. So it's not bad at all. It does only come with a 54 watt hour battery though. Yeah, so battery life's not going to be great. So for those on a budget though, it's still a decent option. I certainly tested one of the previous G5s and I liked it a lot. One other laptop that might be appealing to you, particularly those who are fans of AMD, is the Legion Slim 5 16-inch Ryzen 5 7640HS. So that is quite a good deal. It's from Best Buy $900, reduced by $450. So that is very good indeed. So the 7640HS is a 54 watt chip with 6 cores and 12 threads. And the Cinebench R23 scores around about 13,029 points. Now the RTX 4060 on this is 100 watts, so bear that in mind. But in comparison to a 140 watt part, in Shadow of the Tomb Raider in Full HD here, you'd get 96 FPS, and on the Neo 16 at 1600p, you'd get 97 FPS. So the difference of that 40 watts means you get around the same type of frame rate, but you are able to game at a higher resolution using the 140 watt part. You get 16 gigabytes of RAM, 512 gigabyte SSD, and the resolution is 1920 by 1200. But Lenovo make great machines. It's going to be nice and slim, good build quality. So I think for $900, that is very good value. Plus, you get, great battery life. Expect around about 7 hours 20 minutes on this. So this is absolutely fantastic. And of course, you can hop over to Lenovo Direct and buy a lot of their machines. They've got some huge sales going on. I think a 4070s, that's $1,900. That's probably a little bit expensive, but you got some big discounts like $600 here on a 4090, but still you're approaching $3,000, like. And if you want a desktop, this is again saving $610. This is not bad value for 4070 Ti. Plus, also Lenovo have some good coupon codes. Just check them out. You'll find them online to save you some extra. And also, if you've got student and military discounts, they'll apply them as well. All right, so over to the Asus ROG Zephyrus G14 14-inch laptop. This has always been a very popular laptop, and here it's $1,200 from $1,600. So you're saving $400 over at Best Buy. That is fantastic. And here you do get the Ryzen 9 7940HS. That's 6 cores, 12 threads. You have a RTX 4060, and this is a 125 watt chip, and you get 2560 by 1440 165 hertz panel. And I know we've all seen it before. Lovely machine. And you do have a one zone RGB keyboard. You do have advanced Optimus, and we have a 512GB SSD and 720p infrared camera. And it only weighs 3.6 pounds. So if those who want to travel a lot and get very good battery life, this is a good one to go for. And also the speakers, ones I've tested have always been very, very good. But if 14 inches is too small for you, go for the Zephyrus G16. This has a 165 hertz panel, 1920 by 1200, and it's got the i7-13620H CPU, which is a 10-core, 16-thread chip, and 4060 on this is 120 watts. You get 16GB of DDR4 memory this time, so bear that in mind. It's DDR4 clocked at 3200 megahertz. You get 512GB SSD. You do get advanced Optimus, a 720p webcam. So now over to the 4070 machines, and this next one is probably the best option out there, I think, for the price. So let's take a look at it. So that one is the Asus TUF 15.6 inch. It's an i7 12700H CPU, so that's a good CPU still. 14 core, 20 threads, that's fantastic. 4070 is 140 watt 4070, great. The panel is a 1080p 144 hertz, so you do take a bit of a hit on the panel, but you do still get advanced Optimus. You get 16GB of DDR4 3200 megahertz RAM, and you do get a 1TB SSD. And this is only $1,000 reduced by 400. So I think a 140 watt 4070, for $1,000, that's fantastic. It wasn't that long ago when we were talking like GTX 1060s at $1,000. So a 4070, which is similar to a 3070 Ti, it's going to be very, very good here. And of course, you still get advanced Optimus on it. Awesome. All right, now over to Alienware. They've got the M16 over at Best Buy for $1,400. That's down from $2,000. So that's a huge savings. And, I think $1,400 is a fair value for this. It's a decent machine, good build quality. Very nice. You get, and this you get the i7-13700HX. So you get 16 cores, 24 threads. Very good for this price. You get 140 watt RTX 4070. You get 1TB SSD. Now bear in mind you only get 2 M.2 slots on this unit because it's a 4070. You need to go for the 4080 or the 4090 to get those 4 M.2 slots. You get 16GB of RAM, and you still get the 4 fans in the laptop, but bear in mind it's still going to run just as hot as the ones that I tested. You got an inverted motherboard, which is going to make it harder to repaste. Plus also if you put on a cooling pad with the inverted motherboard, the heat pipes and things on the other side, so any cool air brought in by the cooling pad, it's going to have no effect. And I did test that. There are ways to cool it down. Make sure you watch one of my videos there to show how to cool these things down. They have control in the Alienware Control Center and I think the option is TWCC. Just limit the CPU to like 85 degrees, and you can control the temperature that way. You do get the 16-inch 165Hz QHD Plus, that's 2560 by 1600 panel. It's around about 300 nits, I remember. And you get a big battery, 97 watt hours, but don't expect like day-breaking battery life here. It's still about 2.5 hours. But for those who perhaps want a better battery life on one of these machines, you can go for the HP Omen 16 165Hz panel. Now it's got the AMD 7940HS plus the 140 watt 4070. Now you only get a 512GB SSD here, so you do take a hit there, which is a shame. You still get the 16GB of RAM, and you do take a hit on the panel. It's 1920 by 1080. So compared to the Alienware, you do take a few hits, but you do get better battery life with the AMD chip there. And that is $1,400, down from $1,850 again over at Best Buy. Alright, that's the 4070s out of the way. Let's take a look at the 4080 options. So the Alienware M16 with the 4080, 175 watt 4080. And this has got the QHD Plus again, the 2560 by 1600 panel. Now you, of course, you get the 240 hertz refresh rate here, so that's very nice. And you will get the 4, slots for the M.2, so you can actually get more storage. It does come with 1 terabyte of storage. You get 16 gigabytes of RAM. This has been reduced by $600 down to $2,100 over at Best Buy. Now, of course, you can get other options. If you go over to Dell, you can actually go and then configure it with an AMD chip. And so this may be the way to go. And of course, it's the same type of price, and you get other discounts with Dell. You get various coupons. Again, you get student and military discounts, and you do get the option to say go for AMD. So that's pretty nice. And of course, you can configure how much RAM and storage that you want, so you don't have to mess around doing it yourself. So I would probably go that way. Plus, also you can get, if you use their credit card, you get like points back, and you also get 12 months free financing as well. So this next one is probably the best deal on an RTX 4080. Is the MSI Vector GP68HX over at Newegg. Of course, I've got links in the description for all of these laptops, and this is $1,600, saving $500. So $1,600 on a 4080 machine. Yeah, sign me up. That's excellent. You get a 1 terabyte SSD, and you get 16 gigabytes of DDR5 RAM. The 4080, of course, is 175 watts, and you get 55 watt for the CPU, so it's 230 watts in total. Now you do get the i9-12900H CPU here. Last year this was probably one of the better CPUs out there. It's fantastic. So it's a 14 core, 20 threads, and you do get per key RGB, and I think their RGB is fantastic on MSI laptops. You get 6 heat pipes, 2 fans. Now the panel, you do take a hit with the panel. It's 1920 by 1200, 144 hertz, 45% NTSC. So yeah, they skimped on the panel, which is a shame, but I had to get the price down there. So for $1,600, I think for the 4080, it's great. Now there is a 240 hertz panel out there, which will be the way to go, but I'm not sure what the price is on that. But still, I think for the price, it's a good option. So if you want a 4090 machine, the Legion 7 Pro may be the way to go here. It's $2,800. You get 32 gigabytes of RAM now, so that is nice. You get the 1 terabyte SSD, and you do actually get 11% off if you use some kind of code here as well. So that might be worth doing. Might bring it down to around about $2,600 or so. So definitely worth looking at. Good cooling, well built, and you get decent battery life on it as well. I think I got around about 5.5 hours, so not bad. So there you go. I must admit, I think it's probably one of the better Black Fridays for laptops. Good deals. You're seeing about $500 off generally, I see. So happy shopping. Thanks for watching. All the links are in the description below. The affiliate links, they do help my channel. And enjoy your weekend. Bye now.